New at 4 in today's Community Focus, RIDOT Director Peter Alviti joins me in studio. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi, Kim. Nice to be here.
So, Director, I want to start with some news that was published today in the Providence Journal by Patrick Anderson. He had a story about the responses that RIDOT got to the initial Washington Bridge request for proposals following the westbound span's closure. And as Patrick writes, the construction firms, quote, told the state it had set an impossible timeline that prioritized speed over quality and lacked clear parameters for the job. How do you respond to that?
So we knew that. The first RFP, I think it was, I didn't read the entire article, and some of it was a bit confusing, but basically the first RFP that we put out for the bridge had a very aggressive timeline and aggressive kinds of conditions associated with it.
And that was on purpose?
And that was on purpose. We were trying to be proactive and get a bid in as quickly as we possibly could with a fixed price. And we only had a couple of companies that had interest in it. Nobody ended up bidding.
No one bid. So
after that, though, we went back out to the industry and we held a request for information from various companies, some big international, multinational companies, engineering firms, and we asked them, how do you think we should progress with the proposal stage and selection process and the design of the new bridge? And they gave us a flood of ideas. We got a lot of different ideas on different ways of doing it, different ways of conducting the procurement. We took all of those ideas, condensed them into a new RFP process, and that resulted in us having a much more robust response. We had several companies that responded to the second round of requests for proposals, and the one that we selected, Walsh Construction, is the best for the last 9 years, the best bridge builder in the country. So it garnered us benefits.
RIPTA is going to avoid some route cuts. We learned yesterday from the governor that they've figured out a way to avoid what seemed like an imminent and unavoidable cut to service. There's going to be some other changes, a one-time infusion of funding. You're the chair of the RIPTA board. You have a meeting on Thursday. Will you be approving this plan?
Yeah, I will. The administration at RIPTA will be presenting it to the board. I've seen the results of the new plan. The governor asked RIPTA to go back and develop a new plan. And we had a nationally renowned company come in and do a review of all the routes. All of these changes have a very positive result. It creates a RIPTA that is right-sized, working more efficiently than they ever have, with routes that are highly functional and necessary. And I think this new plan even allows us to keep on the drivers that we're concerned about losing. So thanks to the governor, thanks to the RIPTA staff for working very diligently together to come up with this plan. And we look forward to hearing about it on Thursday, and I'm sure the board will look favorably upon this.
Kids are heading back to school this week. We've got our back to school coverage ongoing this week and next week.
Yes.
With school buses on the road, more pedestrians out there. What's your general safety advice to folks to stay safe when they're behind the wheel?
Well, just recently, a new study, a new report came out that showed that in Rhode Island we have reached over 90%, 93%, I think, of the people here in Rhode Island are fastening their seatbelts.
That's good news.
That's the highest it's ever been. That's the best we've ever done. You know, back in 2011, I think we're at 78% usage. Well, we're up at 93. There's still that 7% of people who aren't using them. So coming into this school year, it'd be great if we could get that last 7% people using their seatbelts. That's an important factor in safety, particularly if there's a crash. They save lives. They're known to save lives. And we hope that everybody participates in that effort, and we'll have a nice, safe back-to-school season.
Rhode Island DOT Director Peter Alviti, that's all the time that we have, but thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.